Some people watch a YouTube video of a homestead where they grow all their own food, they have a beautiful garden, and big smiles on their faces, but that's not always the reality. Some days, homesteading is barely getting yourself out of bed, throwing on your muddy overalls and boots, and heading out to tend to your responsibilities just to do it all over again the next day. Not only do we hope to inspire you, but we hope to show the realities of what it is to have a homestead. Very rarely are there days off or long vacations. There's no skipping a feeding or forgetting to water the animals. We have a responsibility to our land, to our animals, and to this way of life. What we see on Instagram or YouTube are these big, huge farms with big, beautiful families, breaking the mold and living a life of peace. But what you don't see are the moments of sadness and grief from the loss of an animal, or the heartache of putting all your effort into a crop just for it to die, or the days when you are humbled by Mother Nature and remember that she is in control. Don't forget that the famous people on the TV go through the same hard times we all do. They just don't show it on screen. For Ashlyn and I, we have plenty of days where we question this way of life. It's natural, and if someone tells you otherwise, they are lying. After a few years of homesteading, we have had many days where we feel defeated and begin to question our decisions. With the bigger picture in mind, we keep on moving toward our dreams for our homestead and our dreams for our life. You too will go through these waves, not only on the homestead, but also in your own life. It's important to remind ourselves why exactly we choose to live this way. You know, I love making these videos and I love homesteading. I love our life so much, but there's some times when you're just not motivated, and I'm kind of in that place this week. It seems like I wake up and I don't really want to go feed the animals. I kind of want to just eat my breakfast and do my thing and have my own routine and not have to worry about everybody else so much. And that's pretty normal. And on this YouTube channel, I want to make sure that I'm showing you guys the good and the bad, and sometimes even the ugly. I don't want to give somebody this idea that homesteading is this glamorous, picture-perfect life and nothing ever goes wrong, and that it's all about happiness and cuddles with your animals, and it's not. I'm just going to be honest. There's a lot of things that go wrong on a homestead that just don't happen how you wish they would have, and sometimes that can be hard. And even just on the day-to-day, like this week for me, I've been feeling a little down. You know, I don't know what it is. I've just been feeling a little stressed. I've been feeling overwhelmed. I've been feeling a little burnt out. And a lot of that is because we do big things. You know, we don't just have our animals in one place. We move our animals all the time. I mean, right now, obviously the cows are in the winter barn, so they're not doing very much. But, you know, Rosie's about to calve, and so we're up at night multiple times a night sometimes checking on her to see if she's calved. And that's a big stress lately, is Rosie calving, because last time she calved, she ended up losing it, and it was very, very premature. Thankfully, all the signs show that she's having a healthy calf, and she could pop right now. So we're dealing with the stress of that. And you know, if you've been watching the channel for a while, you know that we have back 10 acres on the back of the property. That doesn't really get shown a whole lot. It has lately, I would say, but we're using our pigs to rehabilitate that back pasture, and the amount of work that's been, I'm just going to be honest with you. I know it's going to be well worth it, and once we throw seed down and spring comes, it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be so much better than it was, but oh my gosh, it's been just so difficult. It's been so muddy. This winter has been incredibly warm and incredibly rainy, and I knew that going into it, but it's been tough. It's been really tough. I mean, there's been plenty of times where I go out to feed the pigs, and you know, you've got 9-10 pigs around you, and you're trying to feed them all and separate the feed a little bit, and they end up pushing you to the ground. And you know, it's just, those things happen. And lately I've been feeling pretty burnt out. We're about, I don't know, I think we're past the halfway point on our 10 acres back there, and so it's incredibly muddy because we have so many pigs that are just tilling it up, and that's exactly what we want them to do. But when it rains a ton, it's a mess. And you know, like I said, I feel really burnt out lately, and this YouTube channel isn't just, you know, a place for inspiration. Sometimes it's, you know, reality, and I want to show and express my feelings for what we have here. And yeah, sometimes I'm just not feeling it, and this last week has just really been feeling like that. Yesterday was really tough on me, and I'm so thankful that I have a partner who is so amazing when I'm feeling overwhelmed and stressed, because, you know, I tend to carry a lot of the weight, and obviously, you know, I'm here 24/7, and Ashlyn gets to work a lot of the time, so she gets to leave and not stress about it, which is very good. And, you know, I don't necessarily get that, so I have to make sure that I actually do take some time away and you know, do some things that I want to do, and, you know, some things that are relaxing to me in a time when I'm feeling burnt out and stressed like I have been lately. You know, and then on top of it, we make these videos, and I love making these videos. It's become a huge passion of mine, and I love sharing the life we live, and I love, you know, seeing all the comments that people have, and how, you know, it's inspiring them, or that they want to live that kind of life. I love that, because I think more people should live this life. But, you know, having a YouTube channel is kind of tough. I mean, I'm not going to be naive, and, you know, I'm very thankful for what we have, so I want to say that first. But, you know, lately I've kind of stopped reading comments on some of our videos, because when you throw your life out there, there's going to be a lot of judgmental things, and it's unfortunate, you know. We love all of the comments and all of the supporting people, but there's, you know, we have some videos where people just, they aren't happy with what we're doing, and, you know, they're judging us, or, you know, they're telling us what they think we should be doing. And if you read a lot of those comments, it brings you down, and it makes it a little bit harder to make videos, because you feel like you can't share exactly how you feel sometimes, or that you know, maybe you need to mold yourself to somebody else's understanding of what you should be doing. And that's not something we care to do. I really don't care what other people think about the life we live. And, you know, for the people that encourage us to continue to live this life, I'm so thankful. But we've kind of stopped reading comments. I know Ashlyn reads quite a few. I've kind of stepped back a little bit, because if you read too many negative things, you start to feel that negativity, and that's just something I don't want. So, but, you know, homesteading is not an easy life, and I knew that going into it. And I'm not afraid of hard work and you know, some sadness. You know, you have animals that die, or even when you're butchering, it's not the most pleasant thing to have to do that. This video is to make sure that our viewers know that homesteading isn't glamorous. There's some really, really beautiful times where, you know, like soon we could have a calf on the ground, and that could be a beautiful thing. Or, you know, out of my control, that calf could have problems and complications and not make it, which would be really devastating for us 2 years in a row. But at the end of the day, we're not going to make decisions based on, you know, how we're feeling today. We have a bigger picture of what we want for our homestead. We have a bigger picture for what we want for our lives, and that's going to have some ups and downs. And I know that how I feel this week, I probably won't feel in the next couple days. You know, I'll get out of that funk, and I'll feel like I'm back to normal, and I'm feeling motivated, and I'm feeling like so appreciative, and I'm like so happy to go feed these animals and take care of everybody. But, you know, yesterday I was not. You know, it was one of those days where you just feel like you're chasing yourself. You just can't get ahead. There's so many things you need to do. And lately we've been working on a big project, which I'm not going to disclose, because we've been working real hard. We're making a video on it. It's coming out soon. And, you know, that project didn't really happen how we wanted it to yesterday, and that was kind of a big bummer. And, you're rushing to town to go get feed, and you're rushing to town to go get supplies because you need it done before it gets dark, and then you get inside and everything's done and you realize, oh shoot, I forgot to fill up the wood pile. We need to heat the house. And so it's all overalls back on. We're back outside and we're loading up the wood, and we're not eating until 7 o'clock at night. And some days are just like that. And yesterday was one of those days. But like I said, I'm so thankful that I have a partner like Ashlyn, because we're a bit different in certain ways, and one way we're different is I tend to just feel the weight of everything a lot, and I tend to try and carry every problem, and try my best to control those situations as much as I can, and that's real stressful, and it puts a lot of weight on my shoulders. And she tends to be the type of person that just go with the flow, and she's just happy and smiling all the time, and I really appreciate having somebody like that in my life, because without that, I wouldn't have a reminder that I need to, smile a little bit more. I need to sit back and take it in a little bit more. She definitely likes to enjoy what we have, and it teaches me to do that too, because sometimes I'm just goal-oriented, and I'm just trying to stay motivated, and I'm on to the next project and on to the next thing, and that can burn you out like it has right now. So, and that's another thing, is homesteading is really hard by yourself, and it's not as enjoyable either. It's so much more enjoyable when you have a partner that's interested in it, and even if Ashlyn's not interested in moving the pigs on the back pasture and getting all muddy, she's so interested in the life we live. And one thing that's been amazing lately is we go to the grocery store, and it seems like every time we go to the grocery store, there's one thing that we don't have to buy, and our grocery bill gets smaller and smaller every week, and that's like one of the most amazing things to me. And soon that's going to be milk for us. We drink a ton of milk, and we eat a lot of butter and all kinds of dairy. And so it's going to be so wonderful when Rosie has her calf. And she's in milk, which I'll show you in just a second. She's in milk. She has a huge bag, so we're past that stage. We hope there's no complications with the calf, but if there is complications, at least we're going to have some milk, and we can get another calf to put on her. So that's very nice. This is a different video than I usually make, but, we're hoping to inspire people, and specifically, we're hoping to inspire a younger generation who just hasn't grown up like this. They have no idea how to handle a cow, how to raise pigs, how to, maybe even have some backyard chickens. And we encourage anybody to live this life, even though today's video is a little non-inspirational. It's more about just the day-to-day. It's about the days where you just don't really feel like getting out of bed. You really don't feel like feeding all these animals before you go feed yourself. And then, later in the day having to feed everybody and take care of everybody again, deal with any complications, build the projects, and, doing it in a timely manner. So, yeah. I try to be as raw as possible, and I know some videos it's not as personal as this is, but I hope you guys appreciate it. I hope that, even in your own lives, if you're having a hard day and you're not feeling motivated, that you realize that, let's just keep going for one more day. And I think that's a powerful thing. How we're feeling today, it isn't necessarily how we're going to feel tomorrow or the next day. And we have one goal in mind, and that's to be as sustainable as possible, and that's not always beautiful, and it's not always easy. So if you're looking to start a homestead and live this life, I no matter what, no matter how I'm feeling, no matter how burnt out I am, I encourage you to live that life. You too will probably feel burnt out at some point, and that's perfectly normal. It's just part of this life, and yeah. But let me show you Rosie's bag real quick, because I promised a view. There's our Rosie girl. She's big. The calf doesn't sit on this side. The calf actually sits on the right side. So let me show you that side. She's kind of up by the fence here. I don't know if you can tell, but there's a big baby in there. I could not imagine birthing something that big. But her bag, I don't know if you can see it. That's a full bag right there. There's a lot of good, rich, creamy milk inside there. Well, right now it's kind of colostrum, so it wouldn't be too good, but it'd be a little yellow. But there's a lot of milk in there, and man, she is ready to go. We are just days away, and she's just antsy and agitated, and definitely wants to get that baby out of her. I can tell. Well, I'm sorry to bring a little bit of a depressing video, but I hope it's just a reality. You know, this is the reality of our life, and some days it's good, some days it's bad. And you know, I will say most days are very good. Most days are extremely beautiful, and we have all these wonderful things happening on the homestead. We get to complete these projects, but some days are not. And this week's kind of one of those. So, well, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you got something out of this video. And we're going to see you in the next one. Have a great day, and keep on homesteading.